Hello, I'm Rebecca Greenspan, founder and chief consultant of RG Adoption Consulting. What I do is help hopeful adoptive parents from all over the country through their adoption journey. We hold their hands and help them navigate what can be a really stressful and confusing path to hopefully make it a little bit more seamless. Today, we are going to dive into the 3 most common mistakes that people typically make when just starting off on their adoption journey. Now, if you're just starting off, chances are high that you've made 1 or 2, but don't worry. Today, I hope to provide you some more clarity so that you can start going down the right way and a whole lot more information. So let's get started. I have some notes here if I keep looking down. The first mistake is comparing yourself to others. Now, the reason why this is so hurtful to you is because other people just aren't you. It's as simple as that. If you don't know what other people's criteria are about what they are looking for in their perfect adoption situation, if you don't know when they adopted, if you don't know what agency they used or who they worked with, that's what you would need to know in order to truly compare. But because everybody's situation is unique, it's really, really difficult to do. Perhaps you're only open to 1 or 2 races and they were open to all races. Perhaps you're not open to drug exposure and they were open to all exposures. So can you see how that might not be so helpful? So just be careful when trying to compare yourself to other people. Also, every agency is different. And while one agency may be great for one person, they might not be the right agency for you. So don't compare. The second most common mistake is relying on social media for all of your information. I'm sure you have seen this plenty of times, but social media can really be a negative place. You see, when people have a great situation and things just go super smooth, they don't typically write about it. If an adoptee grew up in a family and hasn't really had a whole lot of issues dealing with identity or issues around reuniting with their birth families, they might not be writing about it on social media. I think you can catch my drift. When people have fall-throughs or when they're not happy about something, they tend to need a place to spew that information, right? To write about it. And when we look on social media, we tend to only glom on to the negative, right? I'm sure you've seen it before. You're reading, and what is it that you remember? Do you remember the positive things or do you remember the negative? So I'm not telling you not to look on social for information. I think it's great. But pick and choose the information that's going to be helpful for you and go in realizing that you may see a lot more negative than positive, but that doesn't give you the whole picture. So don't only rely on social media. You've seen this before, right? The third most common mistake is choosing to only work with your local adoption agency in your backyard. Now, that could be perfectly great for you. However, you should also know that you have all sorts of options. You can work with an agency across state lines. You can work with one agency, or you can work with multiple agencies. I'm going to cover this in a webinar I have coming up. But the point is you have options. And just because an agency is in your local community and maybe has a great reputation, again, might not be the right agency for you. Also, there's some agencies that want a lot of money up front and some agencies that just take a little up front. So you have to look at the full picture and get a lot more information and statistics before you can decide which agency you want to work with. Now, I do want to say that for your home study, that local agency in your backyard may be perfect. Again, something I'm going to cover in a webinar that I have coming up. So, did that just open up some new possibilities for you, or did you just have an aha moment? It's good stuff, right? Well, I hope this didn't overwhelm you too much, but instead left you with some things to think about and left you with some ideas to maybe go down a different path or do things a little bit differently. If you liked today's video, I have even more to share with you in an upcoming masterclass. I have a free masterclass coming up in just a few days, and you don't want to miss it. I wrote down the title because it's a mouthful. It's 3 secrets to start you on the most strategic, effective, and quickest path to adopt your baby in 2020. How does that sound to you? I'm going to take what you just learned here and dive way, way deeper. Plus, if you liked what you learned today, I'm going to talk to you about some actions to really get you started on your adoption journey, and you won't want to miss it because I'm also going to take Q&A. I'm going to leave lots of time to answer all of your burning questions. So if you're interested, head over to theadoptionroadmap.com/register. It's going to be live, so you don't want to miss it. I hope to see you there. Again, if you haven't registered yet and you want to learn 3 secrets to start you on the most strategic, effective, and quickest path to adopt your baby in 2020, I'll get this right at some point. Just head over to theadoptionroadmap.com/register. Do it right now. I can't wait to see you in the masterclass. I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.